Let's talk about money mindset. Now, if you followed me for a while, then you know how much I love talking about money mindset. It's been one of the biggest game changers in my business, and I love to share what I've learned and what I do in order to manage my mind when it comes to money. Money is an energy, and the way that we think about it, feel about it, experience it, and relate to it impacts how much money comes our way. So, money mindset is a huge topic, but I want you to start to consider, what is your current blueprint about money? We all have an energetic blueprint around money, and that is impacting the way that we think, feel, and act around it. So, our money blueprint is created from our whole life experience. It comes from the places of how our parents think and feel about money, how it was discussed in our household or wasn't discussed in our household when we were growing up, all of our experiences throughout our lives with money. It can be very connected to our values, because if we believe that to be a good person, we shouldn't earn a lot of money, it impacts us. It causes us to self-sabotage in so many different ways, and it shows up in so many different areas of your business. It's so connected to self-worth, and it impacts the way that we show up in the world. It impacts how much we charge. It impacts how we take care of the money when we do receive it from clients. And it shows up in the way that we either avoid our numbers or look at our numbers. It shows up in different things that we attract and we bring into our business, right? So money mindset is a huge topic. And so today I want to talk you through unpacking what your money blueprint could be. So I want you to start to consider, what's your money story? What are you telling yourself about money? And how is that story playing out in your life and in your business? So for us to do this, I want you to start to just brain dump all the thoughts and feelings and experiences you've had with money. Get it all out onto paper. Because once you start to see that story that it creates, you'll start to see why you're experiencing the results you are with money right now. We need to determine with that blueprint whether we are stuck in a scarcity or lack mindset, or whether we are delving into abundance. So we can be in different places with this, right? So when it comes to scarcity, it is about what we believe to be true about what's available to us. Do we believe that there isn't enough? Do we believe that there's not enough clients, not enough money, that if I take money from this person, I'm taking it from them, and they will be left with less? And money is more than just a mindset. The way we feel about it through current experiences, through past experiences, with the way that we've been taught to feel around money. If you've grown up in a household where it was very stressful to talk about money, or when we spoke about money, it brought up fights, then all that emotion is very attached to it, right? And we give money so much power, yet money is an energy. It's an energy that we circulate for value. We're always circulating it. We don't ever own it. And I think sometimes we can get so stuck in a scarcity mindset that we don't realize how much abundance is actually available to us. And so the way that we think and feel about it is impacting how safe we feel with it. So if you don't feel safe with a certain amount of money, you will absolutely sabotage it, even when it comes your way. It's why when lottery winners win all of this money, and then before you know it, within a year or so, they've gone back to living on the exact same amount of money they were living on before, because they sabotaged it. They got rid of it because they didn't feel safe with it. So we've got to work on our money thresholds to shift that level of abundance, because if we're hitting up against ceilings, we're coming up to this place of like, oh, well, I don't feel safe, so I sabotage myself back down to where I do feel safe. So again, if you've got no role models in your life that show you that it's safe to be good with money, or that it's safe to have money, then we will sabotage it. I spoke about this in another video where I spoke about having role models around like so connected to your values, because if you believe that you have to do something untoward to get that money and you don't want to be that person, you will sabotage it again. So this is why it's super important to shift your mindset around money and start to develop a new blueprint that's going to support you with the abundance and wealth that you would like to welcome into your existence. So where do we start? It's unpacking your money story. It's writing down all of your past experiences with money that were positive or negative, writing down all the belief systems that you feel that you are still holding on to that maybe aren't even yours. So what's a limiting belief that you have around money? Money doesn't grow on trees. Money's dirty. Money's filthy. More money, more problems. You have to work hard to earn money. There are so many belief systems that we adopt from other people, and we take them on board to be truth. And then what happens is we then find evidence in the world that shows us that this is also true. right? And so we've got to be able to poke holes in those belief systems and to shift that blueprint to create a whole new one. And so there's two elements to this. One is unpacking what your current money blueprint is. Then we've got to create a new money blueprint and embed that into your mind. So let's talk about that. So firstly, uncover that belief system that you think is probably one of the main ones that's causing you to not welcome the abundance into your life that you'd like. And that is most likely going to be a limiting belief that you have around money. And so when you think about that belief system, whose belief is it? Is it yours? Where did you hear it from? Who told you that this was true? How do you know it's true, right? And I want you to think about it. When you hear it in your head, whose voice is it when it says that belief? And so I want you to unpack if it possibly is somebody else's belief. And if it is, we need to disassociate from that belief system. So first things first, if you've identified it might be your mum's, it might be your dad's, it might be another family member, whoever it is, it doesn't matter who it is, but I want you to disassociate from it. So the way that we do that is consider how it could be true for that person. Okay, so we want to go, okay, so if this was my dad's belief, you have to work hard to earn money, how would that have been true for him? Now, for me, that was one of my belief systems that I've definitely worked through. And the interesting fact is that there's always an opposite belief system that matches the belief system that you're working through. So for me to believe that I have to work hard to earn money, the opposite belief that your brain deduces is like, well, then if I'm not working hard, I don't deserve it, which is very detrimental to earning wealth, right? So especially in this world, because we're not working as hard as they used to in the old days. So when I think about my dad having that belief system, it's absolutely true for him, right? He was a laborer, he was a farmer. So he did have to work really hard in order to earn his money. So I want to disassociate from that and see that as a separate thing, separate person, that's absolutely his belief system. And because I looked up to him and because he was a big part of my life, of course, I want to match, we want to familiarize and feel like we belong. So we often adopt other people's belief systems. So firstly, we want to notice, okay, it's not my belief, it's dad's. Okay, so how can I understand that that's his belief? And I then need to decide whether I want to choose to take it on board or not. I get to choose to decide to believe that or not. So then I need to poke holes in it. So I need to look at where am I currently sitting with this belief system in my life and how is it not true for me? So there have been times in my life where I've had jobs which weren't that difficult. I actually got paid really well and didn't have to work that hard. Okay, so that's a little bit of evidence to prove that that's not true. And then, well, in my life, and I can prove now, like there's other people in my life that are earning money without doing really hard labor and having to work 24/7. So there's more proof, right? So we want to poke holes by just using your brain to think about other things and bring a different belief system into play. So we want to go, okay, how is it not true? And then find the evidence to prove that. Yeah, it's there. You just got to look a little bit harder. And so because our brain is so wired to that belief, it'll have so much evidence to prove that true. That's why you've got to challenge your mind to look for the others. There's always evidence there if you look for it. But at the time, because we were believing this belief, our brain will delete and distort what we actually see and read and hear because it's out of alignment with that belief, right? But now that you know it's not your belief, we want to start looking for other evidence to prove it to be wrong. Okay.